I don't know. Maybe my voice
Man, my
seems kind of
God, you
dry
know what?
tonight anyway. I don't know if I might sing. I'll play. I'll definitely play.
Oh, make an
I feel
excuse.
like
You know
playing.
what? I feel like wanting to hear your music, and I think I do personally. I want a distraction, and I looked around on streams, and I just heard people yelling and bullshitting each other, and we can talk. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk. I could talk about having three shows at once. No one's ever done that in our little universe. I had three shows going, and then I lost three shows going.
I wasn't
And
sure if
that's
you wanted
kind
to
of
talk
cool
about that
too.
stuff. I wasn't sure if you were
Anything.
comfortable.
Of course I will. Of
Okay,
course.
so let's get
It's
right into it, Sam.
distracting and real.
Let's get right into it
Let's
then.
get into it. I've been in it.
How
I've been in
how do you
it.
feel about Hostbusters now, post doxing?
uh, you know, I used to say he was the best host I ever had on air. And basically, I knew him on air. And also said that you don't know a person until they're mad at you. And when he got mad at me, he crossed the line like no one ever did, like no one ever did. Now, there's that Ross dog, that latent homosexual man who I fought with, who I call fuck face, and he's done wrong by me. He's done wrong. He's got his cronies after me. This little parade of clowns, and he's shut down my show.
Now,
But he has never let me finish, man. I'm
go for
coming
it.
to man, you gotta give me the air to breathe. So even this Ross dog, he knew my information. He knew my real first name. He knew my medical condition, but he never did it. Only one creepy guy crossed the line. Now, he could have said, I don't want to do a show with you anymore, but he crossed that line and doxed me and put out my first name and fuck him, you little creep. I forgive you, but you did wrong. You did wrong.
Now, you don't think that like Russell Cook engineered this whole beef between
Oh.
you and Hostbuster to get the slot? Because he seems very happy being the right hand man, number two.
Oh, man. What a cringe paranoid theory. And you say that so authoritatively. You got the best voice. But let me address. Now, here's the thing, Clicky.
This Rev Dog, have you heard about him
Man,
yet?
I
Rev,
like him. I think I wrote you that he seems really smart, man.
do you think that he could be a contender though? Like you said, you would dominate. I feel like that's what he's doing. He's shooting straight up. His stock is going through the roof. People love him. He took on Ian
I
Ellis.
like I like this guy, but he's not as witty as me. He's not as quick. He doesn't have that speed. He doesn't have that speed. And I will tell you, when someone's better than me, you're a better listener than me. You have better voice than me, and you're magic with the music. But on air personality, I think I'm the best. I think
Well,
I'm
I'll edit that
top.
out. So
Well,
I'm
you'll
just kidding.
edit that out. I don't care, man. I'll say it for myself. I'll say it for you. I'll shout it through the window. But we know it, and you know it too.
I'm a
And then
more
don't
polite
dig me because
person. I like to be polite. It's my
oh, you
Achilles
like
heel.
cringe. Oh, yeah, you just be yourself
I like to
because you know.
watch cringe. I don't like to be involved in cringe. It's way more fun to watch it from a distance. Being involved in cringe, I don't know.
People don't. And people, hey, look, I've known this clique a long time, and he's got this dark side, and I think it makes him interesting. But he comes across as such a nice, rational man, and he is. But he got this cringe side. I know it. I remember the stories you wrote, and yeah, man. And every time on Sam Hill Gang, I made it a point. You probably got it. I made it a point to just go cringe, especially for my friend clickbait.
So you what were we talking about just a second ago?
That I don't like okay, here's the Russell Cook theory. Now, I had a problem with this show because I wanted to see if here's a comedian. Now, he used to be funny. He's not as funny more because I don't like him as much. And people you like are more able. You think they're funnier. Likability is important, which is why Ian Ellis. Not many people dig him because he's not likable, but he's clever and funny. Anyway, the problem is I dominate, and I want to make sure he's a co-host. But what happened, Click? I do dominate him, and he couldn't keep up. And I tried ball busting, which I dig, and I do it with you because like you're smart, but you think you're as smart as me, but you're not. But anyway, it didn't work. He got insecure.
Stutter some more.
People said,
just kidding. Go ahead. I'm teasing.
what, man?
I said
go ahead and tease. I don't want some polite asshole. I want the real man.
Well, listen, you brought up. We'll treat this like the debates. You brought up Ian Ellis, so I'll say this about Ian Ellis. Ian Ellis, you're talking about his comedy, right? I think that the problem with Ian is that he wants to sell out, but he won't do it. He wants to be a big comedian, but he's not willing. And what's a big comedian? They sell a lot of tickets, they make a lot of money, but he doesn't want to follow the formula.
I would define success as being able to make enough money to do it all the time.
You would, but what he wants to do,
would.
He wants to, to make money doing stand-up comedy, though, you have to sell a lot of tickets. You have to be, that's just the way it is. And so, but he doesn't, he's talking about Dante Nero, he's talking about funny shit to him and his friends, but he's got to sell out, basically. And he won't do it.
It's like he has this self-sabotage thing. So let me clarify for you, Professor. This follows the theme of self-sabotage because he talks about nearly going through college, man. He went through college, man, year after year, class after class. He came up with the moolah, and then he had one class to finish. He has this element, I think, self-hate, probably based on his appearance, because if he looks this ugly now, he was probably ugly younger. I can imagine him as a pasty little toad-looking kid being made fun of. So my point is... Oh, that's bullshit. We come back to what people say. Yeah, you say you're as smart as me, too. No. That's Ian Ellis. He self-sabotages. He purposely doesn't want to be likable, probably because he doesn't like himself.
Yeah, but as far as content goes, why does he choose the content that he does when he knows if he wants to make it big? So you're saying in reality he doesn't want to make it big, and that's why he does the material that he does?
I didn't tie it to material.
No, I know I am. I'm asking you. Do you think that the material he does, he knows what he has to do if he wants to, or he knows what he has to talk about, right?
That's a good point. You just changed my mind. I think you're right. I was going to say his attitude, but probably his material, too, is so unlikable. So, touche, Click.
Yeah. Oh, I won.
Yeah.
I finally won.
I think you're right.
Have you been practicing social distancing, Sam?
You've been in a big drought. What, man?
I said, have you been practicing social distancing and quarantining yourself, or no?
I'm thinking about the changes we all have to get. So I come back to my point. It's weird. I don't remember anything like this in my lifetime.
Me either, dude.
Right, and now they tell us, and it figures it's going to get worse. So I think they're probably preparing us. I think they meet together with their little psychologists, and the psychologists say, well, you can't say all this at once because people might panic.
Right. Exactly.
I think we'll get through this. And I mentioned this theory about a virus. I might as well tell you because I can't think of anything else at the moment.
No, I got
Either
it.
I'm not. Okay, well, what you're giving a subjective analysis, which of course I would agree with, but if you look at it objectively, take away all that value judgment, emotion, religion, whatever you want, man, I don't think humans objectively have any more worth than a virus or a
Why?
bacteria.
Why?
Because what determines value of life
You
except
do.
survival? And no, subjectively, I'm saying objectively, I don't think human life is more valuable than a virus. No,
Well, in a post,
subjectively, as a human, I do.
if you adhere to the principles of postmodernism, and you're viewing this, you would say true objectivity is bullshit and impossible. So everything is viewed through a lens of subjectivity.
But do you agree with that? I think there are some things that exist objectively. 2 + 2 = 4. Just because people say it is bullshit.
I would say objectively. I would say objectively that if you, to be philosophically consistent, if you want to save a life other than humans for no other reason than to save it, then you would also want to save all life, which would include the virus or other things like that to kill humans. Which I don't. I don't care. I will kill a fucking penguin and beat its brains on an iceberg if I had to survive. That wouldn't bother me at all. Sure.
Me too.
People like penguins.
But that's subjective. So you have the right to do that based on your subjective sense.
Well, I gave 2 examples there.
Worth more than the penguin you kill, you little bloody fuck.
I gave 2 examples. I gave one where I said I can see if I saw all life as valuable, then I'd want to save it all. But I myself do not see that life that way, so I would do anything I could to make me survive, and the animals would do the same thing. There's no fucking elk out there that would be like, oh, you know what I really should do is kill myself so that these humans can eat.
I just wanted to present a different paradigm looking at this stuff that is going to kill 10% of us. It's a real survival of the fittest kind of thing, don't you think? And also objectively, at the end of it, I think we might have to come up with that antibody or a vaccine, but now the older people are takers, and I'm not saying we should do this. Someday I hope to get old. I'm just saying objectively from that point of view, it's kind of a cleansing, because the more old people that die, the less they take resources, and they tend to have an overabundance of percentage of the money. Now, I don't want it to happen. Let's
have something that kills.
It might even be a good thing.
Let's have something that kills 97% of the people on Earth. Then why not? I mean, then we'll have an even stronger race, though. You see what I'm saying? You can get down a real dark path of eugenics.
That's a brilliant point. Yeah, from a survival point of view, that's true. Why 98? Let's say 99%, and from that paradigm, which I don't agree with, that's true.